Hey everyone, welcome! Today we're diving into a really big topic, social responsibility. We're going to break down what it actually means for a business to be a positive force in its community, looking way beyond just the profits.
It's so easy to judge a business by its sales figures or the cool products it makes. But its real impact? It goes so much deeper than that. So that's the big question we're tackling. What does a business fundamentally owe the community it operates in? Let's get into it.
All right, so to really understand the big picture, we have to start from the inside and work our way out. I mean, think about it. Before a company can go out and change the world, it has to get its own house in order. This first part is all about building that solid foundation of trust.
And this slide right here, it lays out the 3 pillars of that foundation perfectly. It all starts with the absolute fundamentals: treating your people ethically, creating products that are safe, and dealing with your customers fairly. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They are the absolute baseline for any responsible business.
And this goes way beyond just the employees on the direct payroll. True ethical labor means making sure everyone has fair wages and safe conditions. And today, that increasingly means a company has to look at its entire supply chain to make sure its partners are holding up those same standards.
Okay, so once that internal foundation is rock solid, then we can start to look outward. Let's move to the next layer and see how a business can become an active, positive presence right in its own neighborhood.
Being a good neighbor is about so much more than just writing a check. It's about active participation. It's about empowering your employees to get out there and share their skills and their time. And it's about forming real, meaningful partnerships with local groups to make a tangible difference. And here are some fantastic, real-world examples of that in action. We're talking about everything from organizing community cleanup drives to mentoring local students, or even funding scholarships. Each of these actions is a direct investment in the well-being and the future of the community.
So, from a strong internal core and an engaged local presence, we can now zoom out to the widest sphere of influence. This is where a business's actions can contribute to solving those larger, systemic challenges and truly help build a better world.
Now, what's really fascinating about this slide is the distinction it makes. On one hand, you've got philanthropy, which is the direct donation of resources, and it's incredibly important for immediate needs. But on the other hand, you have economic development. That's about creating jobs, investing in infrastructure, things that build long-term strength and self-sufficiency. A truly great company often does both.
Of course, you can't talk about building a better world without talking about the planet itself. Environmental sustainability is a critical piece of this whole puzzle. It's all about operating in a way that protects our natural resources for generations to come.
And the great thing is, these are totally actionable steps. Businesses can actively work to reduce waste, conserve energy, use sustainable materials, and invest in renewables. It's also worth remembering that these aren't just environmental wins. Reducing waste and conserving energy are often really smart financial decisions too. It's a classic win-win.
And that sense of responsibility doesn't just stop at the company's own factory doors. Ethical sourcing means looking critically at where your materials come from and who you partner with. It's about making sure your entire value chain is aligned with your principles.
So what does that look like in the real world? Well, it could mean supporting fair trade practices, it could mean sourcing from local businesses to strengthen the community's economy, or it could be as simple as only partnering with suppliers who share your commitment to sustainability.
So we've looked at responsibility from the inside out, from how you treat your employees to your global impact. Now let's tie it all together and really see how these individual threads weave into a much larger fabric of change.
And this is the key takeaway. None of these actions exist in a vacuum. When a company pays fair wages, it improves local economic stability. When it sources locally, it supports other businesses. When it invests in education, it creates a more skilled workforce. Every single action sends out ripples, strengthening the entire ecosystem.
And that brings us to our final thought. We've explored all these different facets of social responsibility, from the hyperlocal to the global. So now, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Based on everything we've talked about, what does a truly responsible business look like to you? What actions do you value most? Thanks for joining this explainer.